Hello, Amy here at Connect Health, Fitness and Wellness. How are you doing? I thought I'd pop online today and create this video to tell you a little bit about diastasis. So if you are a mum and you've noticed that you've got a bit of a tummy gap, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what it is and what to expect from your recovery. So a diastasis or a tummy gap, it is categorized as a stretching of the muscles in your abs, so your six-pack muscles, and a separation of those six-pack muscles. So during pregnancy, all of your muscles stretch, and down the middle of the six-pack muscles, there is connective tissue, which also stretches at the same time to accommodate the growing baby. So this is a perfectly normal thing to happen. So during pregnancy, if you notice that you've got this gap, don't worry too much about it. Just talk to a trained prenatal fitness professional who can help you mitigate that. So it's not going to damage or make anything worse. It is a perfectly natural thing. Now, what it isn't, I've heard it be called a tummy split, and technically it sounds like it's the right thing, but splitting the tummy makes it seem like you've completely torn all the tissues in between, and unless you have a hernia, you haven't physically torn anything. So a diastasis isn't a tear in that connective tissue. It is just a stretching and thinning and weakening of those connective tissues. If you have a hernia, that is completely different, and that is a tear in those muscles, in that tissue. And then you have protrusions of organs, and you can see your intestines and things like that, and it's a bit not nice, and that can only be fixed by surgery. So a hernia can only be fixed by surgery. So if you have a tear in your abdominal wall, you need to see a doctor, and they will refer you on to a specialist to get you surgically repaired. However, if you just have a regular diastasis, that is the weakening of the connective tissue, then that can be healed, closed, strengthened over time. So I've got a little sketch here. So if I show you this, so just to show you, kind of give you an idea, this is a massive diastasis. This is if it went from the top to your rib cage to your pubic bone. This is your belly button. These are the six-pack abs, and this is the connective tissue that's stretched in between. So it's still bridging the gap, it's just a bit weaker and can't quite manage the internal pressure in your abdomen. So a lot of women, it can be just up here, it could be just here, or just there, or it could be just the bottom or just the top. It could be anywhere in that zone. And it could be one finger, two fingers, you could fit your whole hand in there. Everybody is different. And depending on genetics, lifestyle, all manner of things, a lot of the time it just heals by itself because it is a normal procedure that your body goes through. So basically, I know a lot of people get concerned about closing the gap, and while closing the gap is one thing, what we look for when rehabilitating the core, we're looking at being able to strengthen and helping you to manage the intra-abdominal pressure, so the pressure inside your abs. So if you start going back and doing sit-ups, for example, or bicycles at the gym, and you're doing a whole heap of crunches and you can't manage that intra-abdominal pressure, so if you're holding your breath, for example, you could cause that doming to continue, and you could keep pushing on that gap, and it's not that it's working against the body, so the body can't then do its job and heal itself, because you're trying to do the job that the body's already doing and it's working against it. So seeing somebody who is qualified and getting them to help you control that pressure and teach you how to connect to your body again is the first step in healing a diastasis. So sometimes it just doesn't close altogether, and that's okay. Your body has changed a lot to grow this baby. That is completely fine. As long as you can go about your life managing that pressure when you cough, jump, run, sneeze, lift heavy objects such as a growing child, then that is perfectly fine. But what needs to happen is you need to see a specialist to make sure that you are connecting properly to your body. And there are a whole range of people. I'm not saying you only have to come and see me. It depends on how you think about things, how you process things, as to who will work better for you. So a lot of the times it is a personality thing and how people phrase things and word things. But what I do recommend is, I'm not going to show you how to check yourself either, not in this video. That will be in a different video if you wish to look at that. But I recommend that you see a women's health physiotherapist, because often the core is not just the abs. So it's not just having a tummy gap. It's not, oh, I want a strong core and you start doing sit-ups. The core is the center of everything. So it is basically your torso from your ribs to your pelvis, including your back, including your pelvic floor, including your diaphragm. So if there's a kink in the chain, if something is out of sync, then it's going to affect other things. So if your core is affected and you have just given birth to a baby, your pelvic floor could be affected as well, probably will be. And the only way to check that is by going to see a women's health physiotherapist. So if you don't know of a women's health physiotherapist in your area, please get in touch, because I have a list of women I could help refer you to. So that is why I'm saying not to check yourself, because yes, while it is good to be able to check yourself, you can't really check internally and make sure that everything's functioning like that without seeing somebody for an internal exam. So that is what a diastasis is. I hope that has been useful. So once you have seen the women's health physiotherapist, I highly recommend that you see a trainer who is qualified to help you rehabilitate your core in your local area. If you can't find somebody, again, you can talk to me. I have a network of people I can refer you to, or you can see me by all means. I do clinics in Glenfield, in the North Shore, in Auckland, New Zealand, and I also do online coaching as well. So I can help you connect to your pelvic floor via Zoom, so via video. It's amazing what can do now. So that is a brief introduction to what a diastasis is. I hope that has helped. Please share this with anybody who you think may need this information, and please contact me if you have any questions. So either comment below, you can send me a message or an email. My email address is info@connecthealth.fitness. My website is www.connecthealth.fitness. So that is it from me. I'm Amy from Connect, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye.